Hello everyone, for the big news, this is Marcelo Palermo and this is an update on predictions, projections, and how we see the election, the presidential election 2020 developing as we are 11 days away from November the 3rd, the day of the election, and when things are actually going to go one way or another. We think that today, one day after the final presidential debate, that is getting clearer. Yesterday, in a national renowned news show, the renowned political marketing expert, arguably one of the best in the world, Danny Deutsch, talked about the factor that will determine a victory for Joe Biden if he sticks to that plan. He simply said he has to stick to 3 points in one: COVID, and more COVID. The COVID-19 situation has gone really bad for the United States of America. We are the leading country in deaths and in cases, although in performances, if we consider the amount of inhabitants of our country, 331 million, and we compare it to other countries, we are still in not quite a good situation. We are among the 10 worst countries when it comes down to how bad the COVID-19 situation has hit everyone all over the world. Well, the United States has still poor records when it comes down to COVID-19, and that is obviously the Achilles heel for President Trump, for the Trump administration. Well, today there were released a couple of stats by experts that were considering the situations should the United States of America had adopted the models of South Korea, countries like South Korea or Japan, for example. And it is said that if that will have been the case, the death toll for the United States of America today will be in between 2,000, 2,500, all the way to 11,000 or 15,000. And in a worst case scenario, 20,000. Well, the United States of America is hitting the toll of 225,000 dead people as a consequence of COVID-19. And again, there's an easy way out for the Trump administration to explain what is going on how they're actually planning to keep on fighting COVID-19. During the debate, the presidential debate, President Trump said that the treatments and effective cures and the vaccine all are coming very soon. Now he's no longer mentioning November the 3rd. That, of course, since before, most of us knew that is an unrealistic expectation. But he certainly is talking about a vaccine coming soon, and he keeps the promise of the vaccine being here before the end of the year. But when you talk to the experts, and I have talked to several of them, regional and national, and also some international experts, they keep on telling you that it's very unrealistic to think as the vaccine coming, and even if it comes along, even if it is released to the world, to control the COVID-19 situation by the end of the year. As a matter of fact, most of the experts and authorities in this matter, in healthcare matters, are saying that, especially when it comes to pandemics, are saying and indicating that the COVID-19 situation is going to keep on going at least until the summer of 2021. So we have still a long, complicated winter. It seems that getting close to the celebrations of the end of the year, Halloween is near, then Thanksgiving, and then Christmas and New Year's Eve. Things are not going to get that easy, are not going to be that easy. And we are even facing in many places the possibility of having to go in quarantine again, have more business lockdowns, and that will be another tremendous hit for the economy. If you think about where I'm at, El Paso, Texas, we have been the worst performing city, or one of the worst performing cities in the United States, and certainly in the world, during the last week. And fortunately, the week is over. We were among those who provided the over 223,000, the number of 223,000, the death number 223,000 most likely came out of that disease happened in El Paso. And Texas, although it went from red to mild to orange and to yellow, the state has been stabilized somehow. Certain areas of the state of Texas, on the Lone Star State, had not been doing so good. El Paso was one of those, and of course we expected things to get better. Considering that also the number of deaths and of cases are keep on growing, that is going to be, because for most of the people it's a matter of life and death, and of losing their houses, not being able to rent their apartments or places or houses, even not being able to keep a budget to properly function socially with the regulars of the basics of socioeconomics, like having a budget for your food budget, to pay your bills, clothing, etc., etc. The school thing is another problem. Kids returning to school in a safety fashion, that has not been happening. And again, because of the fact that from the Republican side we still have to see a health plan, especially a COVID plan, to confront the problem that we are facing, it is obvious that that situation is turning fast things around for President Trump to the negative, and he is still in the negative in the polls. Pretty much the key states are still in the balance and hanging on there. Most of them see, although there was a rise in the polls by President Trump, Biden is still leading in many of those key states, and still the main worry for the Trump administration facing this election is not only that states like Texas or Florida, who are key and provide a substantial number of delegates, are turning towards the Democratic candidate, the formula integrated by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but that lots of people in the millions have been voting already. One of the main things is that they say stats indicates that by the end of the early voting period, which will be next week, probably around 100 million or over 100 million people, and even way more than that, will have voted already. This is numbers that have no precedence in any electoral process, in any election in the history of the United States of America, or in the history of the democratic processes of the whole world. When we're talking about early voting by the millions, by over 100 millions, by now we have over 50 million, and it is indicated in the next couple of days we're probably going to hit 60 millions. And again, by the end of the process, over 100 million or even way more. Most of the analysts of those pundits who actually are keen in analyzing the way that the elections are going to go are indicating that it's a clear signal that the voting or the vote is going to turn favorable for the Democratic formula, the formula of the Democrat Party. That is, again, Mr. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Right after the debate, we learned that 60% of the intentional polling went favorable for President Biden and 40% for President Trump, although that was a strong 40%, and that things could turn around. Now, the ace in the hole for President Trump is the Hunter Biden situation, but it's something that has not been proved, and despite the push from the Trump administration to have that case being the new Hillary's emails from 2016 and now all over in 2020, it is so far not happening. And if that doesn't happen, and people focus into what they need to focus right now, which is how do we come back from the terrible, the horrible COVID situation, and not only from the healthcare aspect, but also talking about the economy, politics, the divisiveness that is reigning all over the country. How do we come back from that? And mostly, polls are indicating that people are trusting the votes to Joe Biden. So if things are going the way they keep on going, that probably will indicate that by or come November the 3rd, we're going to be en route for a Democratic victory. Not an easy one, and probably won't be a landslide victory, although there can be surprises, and that can happen, or also that things can turn around. But so far, because of how things are going, right after, one day after the final presidential debate, it seems that things are going the way that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris want them to go. For Epic News, this is Marcelo Palermo. Give us a like, check our channel, Epic News, and stay with us. We're going to stay with you. Remember, this program is dedicated to the memory of our beloved friend, Pedro Jaques, who died of COVID-19. A very good friend without whom this will not be possible. Thank you very much. God bless, and you all have a great day.